Welcome everybody to a different C3 podcast. This one is going to be, and we apologize to any comic book fans, even though there's a huge overlay of this one's going to be all about wrestling, because it's Wrestlemania season, and we want to talk about something different than comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, WWE and comics do go kind of hand in hand. You know, and you have over-sexualized characters and intertwined storylines, and
also John Cena is Superman. So
yeah, literally. How come DC hasn't sued him yet?
I still think he looks like a shaved gorilla, but that's just me.
Okay, well let's start with the build-up. Mike, I know, hasn't been watching Raw because he's got pride. But Turnus, I keep up pretty regularly. Turnus, you actually watched Raw with me and Josh.
Yep.
So you kind of got the build up. Anything stick out at you? Anything?
No.
No.
Where's the Bryan Ziggler match? That's what I want to know. That's kind of my big thing. Is like that's a match that needs to happen. Everything else just seems like it's extremely predictable, and like they're trying so hard to get this one hyped up, but it's just not.
Well, see, that was the weird thing to me, was outside of the Sting Triple H match, which they confirmed at Fastlane, as well as the what's it called, Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match that they confirmed at Fastlane. Everything else on the card hasn't really been confirmed up until like either 2 weeks or a week till.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of had an idea with where they were going, but they never really confirmed the matches, which to me was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because previously, you know, even after the Royal Rumble, most of the, you know, in years past, you had a pretty good idea of what the card was going to be, and they'd announced everything, but now it's kind of, I don't know, do you think that's them reaching out to this new gimme now generation of they're not making them wait for these matches, or bad booking? Or
a lot of it's bad booking. I mean, there's so much of it over these last. Well, why I've avoided television. It's like even from a TV show standpoint, they've just fallen apart into this. I don't know. It's like it's not even Saturday morning cartoon show. It's just It's like, oh, here's some guys that are wrestling now. It's like they have completely given up on characters. They've completely given up on, you know, there used to be story arcs, you know, and we talked the 30-year work, you know.
Yep.
You know, but that's what used to make it so good, you know. You had at least had a reason for grudge matches and things like that, and you used to be able to build those forever. I mean, you know, your Hogan Savage, you know, we could easily fall back on the 80s and 90s stuff, but over the last, like, 5-6 years, it doesn't seem like anybody's
got a plan.
Yeah.
Here's I guess I think kind of an example of that. Let's take a look at one of the bigger matches this year: Wyatt versus The Undertaker.
Right. Which, as of yet, do we...
Exactly. What is
as
the
of
build-up
today?
To this match? The build-up to that match has been nothing but Wyatt talking about how he wants to wrestle The Undertaker. Undertaker, as far as I'm aware, hasn't come out and confirmed anything. Like,
he has not. You will not see Undertaker until WrestleMania,
which
is 2 days away.
Ugh, like,
right?
That's kind of
that's
kind of a bad move.
Yeah. How do you in a guy that, I mean, internet speculation, whatever. Obviously, I mean, he's posted stuff. I mean, his health seems to be okay, things like that. But it's still a matter of fact, a guy that hasn't been in a ring for a year.
Yep.
You know, and then was that I don't even remember what was his deal last year. Was that Lesnar?
Lesnar,
Lesnar.
Him losing to Lesnar.
Now he's Lesnar the one in 21-1.
Yeah. So that's a year. That was a year ago. That was the last time we saw Undertaker. Like, no footage anywhere of him, like, that I'm aware of anyways. I guess maybe I haven't...
No, there's been nothing. And here's the weird thing to me is that last year, I believe Taker got a concussion. Like, I think
he was pretty well. I just watched that match the other night.
It's a bad match, and you can tell it's a bad match because something happens.
Yep.
Like, you can tell Lesnar does the best with what he can. Like, and in Undertaker's credit, he sticks in there pretty well for a guy with a concussion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can
by no fault of either of those guys' own is that a bad match. It just, that's the cards that were laid down that night. But so now we've got a guy who the last time we saw him super underperformed, got a concussion, and now you're telling me that I'm just supposed to buy that he's fine. You know what I mean? Like, why? I get that you want to keep him off TV till your pay-per-view to buy it.
Right.
But
at this point,
especially fighting Bray Wyatt, a relative unknown who you haven't, really, really built up, that's not a pay-per-view seller.
Well, exactly. And the fact that, just like you're saying, it's like they've been cutting Wyatt promos with him. Yeah, it's like, I'm coming for you, whatever. You're afraid of the dark, whatever. And it's just like, he's non-existent. Like, The Undertaker, his name has not been mentioned once since last year's WrestleMania.
I think the WWE is taking Undertaker for granted at this point. They think, we're putting on a match, people are they're gonna come see it just because. But I mean, it's not. And in a sense, sure, people will watch it just because, but I mean, they're not gonna necessarily enjoy it. Like, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, but like, once again, it's not Undertaker showing up at your local gym.
Exactly.
I mean, it's WrestleMania.
Exactly.
I mean, people are gonna show up regardless.
Right.
Like, I can't.
I mean, it's already sold out. I mean,
Yep.
it's a Super Bowl event. It's sold out. They're gonna make their money, but like right now, it's like when that's your big highlight or your potential highlight, or that's supposed to be your draw, is a promo to an invisible character, and Sting maybe actually performing a move on somebody in the ring, and other than that, it's just like right now it's like there's no appeal to like the old crowd, to the old generation, and as much as we want new people, like I said, Bray Wyatt, who should by I think most standards be a new star, essentially.
And he should be messing with The Undertaker at this point.
Yeah.
He should be like, he
should be taking
messing
down
up in messes.
Like, he should be taken down.
Yeah.
He should be going up against frickin' who am I thinking? Barrett.
Barrett?
Or who's like Cesaro, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Caesar.
Not Goldberg. Yeah.
Not Goldberg.
Well, it's great too for WWE because they don't got to have the Undertaker do anything, and also, you got to remember, you guys, they got 3 hours to fill on Raw every week, so they can have Bray Wyatt come out and talk for 5, 10, 15 minutes in fucking riddles and enigmas, and then it just fills time for them. Like, and that's great because.
No, it's not. I just keep fast forwarding on my DVR. Like, the past month, the past 4 Raws, he's come out and he's cut a promo on the Taker. And I didn't know that Taker accepted the match till I saw it, like, on my Facebook feed. It came up, and I rewatched a clip I had fast forwarded through on my DVR. Like, that's how, because, and Bray Wyatt can throw down a good promo. He certainly can. But he's talking to a goddamn wall.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. I mean, that's what it does. That's what WWE needs right now. They need somebody to fill time. Because 3 hours is a lot of time to fill.
Because Raw needs to be 2 hours.
Yep.
Which Triple H, the CFO, I don't know if he really is the CFO, but storyline-wise, he's the CFO, or whatever, COO. Yeah, whatever he does. Whatever he does besides Stephanie.
Yep.
He even said that 2 hours is too much.
Well, yeah.
Which it is. I mean, it's
3 hours.
endurance.
Yeah.
And like when they do like 3-hour pay-per-views, it was okay because we had a whole month's worth of storyline going into it.
Yep. Right.
You know what I mean?
And especially, up until these last few years where pay-per-views used to be events. Where it's just like, man, you could go to bars, you could go to, hell, I remember hanging out at a frickin' Applebee's watching a WrestleMania one time, or hanging out at frickin' Hooters or wherever, and it used to be an event that everybody, like, you could go to a bar and like people would shut up and like, oh, sit and zone out and like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, what's going to happen here? You know, the different celebrity spots and things like that. And now it just seems like this year, not really any hype. Now they're just kind of relying on the name. It's like, this is WrestleMania. You'll be impressed. And it's like, well, I don't know. The last few pay-per-views, you know, going back like Rumble, it's like maybe they need to dial it back. Maybe go back to, let's say, four. At this point, if network customers don't have to pay for pay-per-views, I mean, how much revenue do you think that they're actually generating
from those extra
from
shows?
actual pay-per-views? I mean, obviously it's still there. They have their direct cable contracts, but at this point, I would think a majority of their viewers are
network
subscribers now.
Yeah.
And, you know, good for them. It's a good model. But then it's like, you know what? Dial it back. And you say, it's like you're already providing all this content anyways. You know, then you say we have 4 major pay-per-views that for that at home, that guy or bar or whoever is going to throw out, still pay $49.99 or whatever the hell they charge for it. You know, whoever's going to pay for that, but then, just have it be 4 times a year, and that gives you 3 months to push every single one.
Well, and here's an idea too. So, you've watched NXT.
Yes.
What do you think of NXT?
So far, as a new viewer, I've really enjoyed it.
Well, Terrence too. So.
Yeah, NXT is amazing. I mean, NXT is what WWE should be right now.
Yeah, and there, I noticed. I mean, just in the handful of episodes that I've kind of blazed through, you know, the talent's there. They got some just goofy characters. They've got, you know, I like that mid-size arena feel to it.
Yeah.
And it reminds me kind of old ECW stuff. It's the only thing I guess I didn't notice on NXT is like no real hardcore. You know, I was a fan of that, and I understand you know WWE's approach or whatever, but at the same time, look back on some of those highest rated pay-per-views, and it was some of those Mankind matches and some of the, you know, the old ECW, you know, barbed wire, you know, freaking flaming table match and whatever. It's like, bring that stuff back. You know, one night only. That's your opportunity. And
we got it with tables, ladders, and chairs, and stairs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which, oh my God.
Which nobody even uses.
Who in promotion needs to be shot over that one?
Yeah.
And stairs. What's the stairs match? It's a Big Show match. You should kill yourself right now.
Yeah. Ugh. And it's like, and to watch him freaking
anything.
Yeah, just in general.
But which is crazy because they get such good feedback about NXT. Why would you not say, "Oh, okay, here's something that everybody
to have
loves."
in an invasion night like that? This would be a prime opportunity. A couple times a year, and you have the lights out beginning of Raw, and it's like NXT's here, boys and girls. This night's ours, and you just take your top 4 guys, give them, you know, just like how they used to do it on their invasion. When they used to do the SmackDown and Raw crossovers every now and again.
Yep.
You know, even though it's the same universe, they still you can't see air quotes on the podcast, but you know, there used to be something to that where it's like, oh, you know, so and so is going to show up Monday night, you know, and beat up the current champion or whatever.
Because they did it on, and they could totally do it different, the Nexus, which essentially was all the developmental guys, you know, doing whatever. But then how cool would it be if, you know, have like a minor show, like they show up, they do that, and then bam, John Cena shows up on NXT, you know, and bitch slaps somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's like, I'll come here too, you know, and stuff like that. And then that'd be interesting. Then they could, you know, hop shows, and then you have guys, you know, jumping allegiance. Or even, best idea, Daniel Bryan defects to NXT.
That'd be awesome.
And bam, and he says, you know, I ain't gonna wrestle on your Raw. I'm an NXT guy, and because we care about real wrestling and things like that, and talk about subscribers.
Hey, there you go.
But
Brian,
of course,
sign that up. Go ahead and let's get that typed up.
Of course, USA wouldn't like that, but
they don't have any.
Yeah,
they don't have any. Say
but let's be honest. At this point, I mean, you could put anything on Raw, and it would get get the same ratings that it has.
And I mean, we almost got a taste of that this WrestleMania. Hideo Itami won the NXT mini tournament, at WrestleMania Access to wrestle in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale.
Yeah.
But then, they decided to put that on the pre-show. So,
F you.
if you don't watch the pre-show, you won't get to see any NXT stars anyways, which is just stupid. I mean, I think that kind of plays into the whole thing we were saying earlier, too. I mean, we had all the card was set 2 weeks before the event, and then 2 days before, they're like, oh, wait, we're going to take this match that was on there, and we're going to move it back. We're going to push it up.
Yeah, and give more time to what?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I guess that's a good time. Let's actually jump into the card.
Yeah, we should jump into the card, but saying there, Turnus is the WWE WrestleMania pre-show, only available on the WWE Network for $9.99 a month.
Yeah. The pre-show's terrible. Just a terrible idea.
Booker T for 2 hours? Excuse me?
Exactly.
Why not? Maybe Stacy Keibler will show up.
Well, what do we have on the pre-show?
Stacy, shuck your ducket.
Shuck your ducket.
So,
we take you to the streets, dog. We ask people about WrestleMania. He'll be arrested like 15 minutes into it.
so the pre-show.
Pre-show, yeah.
This year we have a tag team title match between the Brass Ring Club, the Usos, A New Day, and Los Matadores. And let's just get this out of the way right off the bat. New Day and Los Matadores do not belong in there.
No.
I know they're like they're pre-show material, but they're really not even worthy of that, I don't think.
Of a title at this point.
New Day is what? What is a New Day?
As an inside joke, New Day should rename themselves Velocity.
Just cause. You know, be the new Harlem Heat. Come on. Maybe
Yeah,
Booker T, they can, why not? Why not? Yeah. Just, if they all came out in the frickin' red and yellow.
Well, the best part was they put, Booker T had the unmentionable task of trying to promote this team. And he's like, it's the New Day, they're fun. Like, that was his, basically, so I can imagine, like, him in the back, like, they're like, all right, Booker, we need you to sell the New Day. He's like, all right, great, what's their thing? They're fun.
Yeah.
They're all about positivity. It's kind of a church theme. Great. What are they all about?
Yeah.
Church in Atlanta, the tag team.
Yeah, church in Atlanta. Except we don't really want to go for it.
They walk down the ramp and they scream at people.
Yeah. They scream New Day and they have a clap.
It's terrible. It's the worst.
So,
but they'll be in there. Los Matadores. So what's the deal with them now? It's not even. That's the little buffalo-looking kid.
Los Matadores is El Torito, the tag team.
Yeah, El Torito and his stooges.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because
Buffalo
it's
kids.
Diego and Fernando, who are actually Puerto Rican.
Yep.
They are not Hispanic. You know, they're not Mexican. They're not from Spain. So the Matador thing doesn't make sense. They're Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Which they just, I mean, they need Carlito back.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, I miss Carlito. I spit in the face of people who are not cool.
Well, and my thing with like the pre-show and putting the tag team on there too, the tag team title matches, like that's just kind of a cheap way to try and get people to buy into the network, so they'll watch the pre-show because like, oh, I want to see the tag team match. Well,
here's the thing too: is that you want to make your titles more valuable.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you read that as well as I did, that they were looking to reinvigorate that division. They were trying to really push it. Mm-hmm. And now it's not even on the card.
They keep putting it on the pre-show.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, who cares?
Yeah, so I mean, picking winners, I can't see anything except for Tyson Kidd and Cesaro having it.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, New Day, why?
Yeah.
Los Matadores, they're total filler. And, which is too bad, because the guys can, and all these guys in this match can wrestle.
Yeah.
There's not,
Easily.
that's not a, dig on them at all. That's just, they have no character.
Yep.
And then the Usos, which they had it before, so I can't see anything but Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, who've got a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
Keeping it.
Well, and that's from what we've seen, like Cesaro definitely, I don't know, the dude looks pretty impressive, but I don't. They haven't been able to figure out what to do with him, it seems.
Yeah.
It's like they kind of sent him in as that Goldberg type, but then it seems like every character they have right now is that Goldberg. The unstoppable force. Oh my God, nobody can stop this guy. And it's like, well, cheers the next.
When everybody's unstoppable, nobody is.
It's like, but yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. Cesaro, they'll get the belts, and then maybe that'll be their push, and then him.
Well, they have the belts.
Yeah.
Well, okay, they'll keep their belts. So that's how invested I am in Raw right
Fair
now.
enough.
So rather, I should say in tag team.
That's about how I feel.
And then our second pre-show match is the 20-man Andre the Giant Memorial Tournament, which last year was hilarious because they dedicated about an hour to them transporting this huge trophy to the arena.
Yep.
And like the next night on Monday Night Raw, they broke it.
Yep.
So.
Like somebody legitimately, I don't think I watched that one.
Well, Cesaro won the thing last year, and then the whole storyline was him and Zeb Coulter. Was that when him and Zeb Coulter broke up? Yeah,
something like that.
The Real Americans, or whatever they're called.
Yeah,
We the People.
But so who's? I don't even need to tell you who's in the match. Really, the only people who I can see winning, or really the only person I can see winning it is Ryback.
Yeah.
Anybody else doesn't really make sense.
Although he's another guy that, there's your prime example. Unstoppable force. It's Ryback. Oh no, who can stop him? Well, everybody apparently. He's been stuck at these undercard matches for.
He's got that Kane disease.
Yeah, and it's.
Okay.
But any other? Then we have.
In the match too, they got Hideo Itami, which like we just said to the NXT guy.
Yeah.
He would be a great one to have win, so then he could promote NXT and stuff like that. But I seriously doubt seeing that's going to happen.
Yeah. Was there any? Do they have the roster posted there?
Oh, I can probably grab it up.
Maybe not.
Okay. Well, it looks like I think this is the match. It's going to be it's The Miz, Curtis Axel, Ryback, Fandango, Adam Rose, Zack Ryder, Jack Swagger, Titus O'Neil, Darren Young, Big Show, Kane, Eric Rowan, Damian Mizdow, Sin Cara, Goldust, Heath Slater, Mark Henry, Connor Victor, and Hideo Itami.
See, and that like to me, I mean, and I almost hate to say it, it's like that's 20 guys you could do without.
Yep.
Right now.
Essentially.
And that's 20 employees that it's like, oh, here you're at you guys get to come to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We'll throw you in the
which
ring.
we all know that's the point of that Memorial Battle Royal.
Right.
Is to get as many people on the card as they can.
It'd be kind of cool to see Curtis Axel win it because he's got the whole Axelmania thing going on right now.
That would be.
No.
But they're not, after they gave him the same. Okay, so I thought about Axelmania.
Okay.
So on Raw before, just to set it up for you, he essentially came out. Snoop Dogg was there, and then Snoop Dogg was, Snoop-a-Mania. And then Axel came out, and he was talking about Axelmania. Actually pretty, pretty funny. And he was like, bow, wow, wow, Snoop Dogg. And he was like really, the whole white guy thing.
Yep.
And it was entertaining. And then Hulk Hogan came out. And then essentially what it ended up with was Hulk Hogan punched Axel, and then Snoop Dogg threw him out of the ring.
Why, for one?
Yeah, like you said, who does that help?
Yeah.
Do we need to get Snoop Dogg over? I mean, is he getting into the ring? Is Hogan getting in the ring? No. What do we have to gain by that? Yeah. Nothing. And people were cheering for him prior to him getting in the ring.
Yeah. At what point or what purpose does Hogan serve?
Well,
at all.
Have Hogan put him over.
Yeah.
Have Hogan say, "Oh my God, I love Axelmania, brother. We need to get behind him for the Battle Royal." Then, bam, instant credibility.
There you go.
And if Snoop Dogg's behind him too, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
He walks out, don't change the channel. Snoop Dogg and Hulk Hogan are riding Axelmania all the way to, be hilarious just to get. And then he could do a thing where he gets endorsements from, just different celebrities that they want to throw on there. And that would be so much better for his career than being the guy who got thrown out of the ring.
No, we're going to bury him.
Because what they're doing to him is what they did to Chavo. I don't know if you remember a while back, but Chavo essentially was doing the same thing where, like, Bob Barker would show up, and he'd punch somebody. Well, he'd punch Chavo.
Yeah.
And they kind of commented on Chavo. They're like, this is like the 5th guest host week, and you look like an idiot every one. And he's like, well, they're not going to push me, and now I'm on TV, and people know who I am because I'm interacting with these. Which, that's great for a 35, 36-year-old Chavo Guerrero who doesn't have a main event push left in him, or who does, but they're not going to give it to him.
Right.
But that is not what you need to do with a 24, 25-year-old Curtis Axel, who's still got a long career ahead of him that you can do something with. So
just awful.
Yeah.
And Ryback's the only guy in that match that has any momentum.
Yeah, I'd say.
And why the hell is our Ms. Dow
still going?
Why is it still going? Well, I can see wanting to go till WrestleMania, but now the match where that payoff should be is now in the pre-show.
Yep.
So the hottest angle you have, which is ridiculous to say, the hottest angle you have, of that group of guys, and you can't even keep it on regular pay-per-view. Because I would argue that angle is hotter than the AJ Lee Page Bella Twins match.
Easily.
It's hotter than the Cena Rusev match. It's these other matches, and you could even make a case it's hotter than Orton Rollins.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Which is sad. But yeah.
That's good deal. So all kind of leaning here, Ryback, I guess.
Ryback, yeah.
Ryback.
All right, what do we got next?
Doesn't, unless they're doing something crazy, which they're not. Doesn't make any sense to push anybody.
Somebody else will show up.
And this is just the order that I got on Wikipedia, so I don't think this will be the order of the actual card. But next they got Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Which that'll be our title match.
That's our title match.
So that'll probably be the closer. Man, if there's no way they can let Reigns win this one.
Really, you think?
I don't know. Like, they're pushing him pretty hard right now.
But man, it's with I don't know, with Lesnar signing his contract again.
Yeah.
He's officially on for, what do you say, another 2 years or 3 years?
Another 3 years,
yeah. I think this would be a prime opportunity. It's just like, and Lesnar's the beast, and he's proven it last year. They gave him that huge, if they gave him the huge win last year over frickin' Undertaker.
Yep.
Throwing him up against Reigns. I mean, Lesnar isn't going down from a freaking spear from Reigns. The magic spear.
I can kind of see it going both ways. Like, I could see that, but I also see it as a way, like, if he loses the title, that's a reason for him to stick around. Mm-hmm. To try and get that title back, but they would really need to work on building him up as the unstoppable beast again, which they kind of feel like they failed with so far. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, he's like scary, I guess, but I just don't feel like he's as unstoppable as he should be.
Right.
I mean, he shows up and he lets Paul Heyman do all the talking, and he leaves the ring. Like, if you're gonna have him show up and like beat the crap out of somebody when he does.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Like, have him be scary. Like, I miss, like, I'll always go back to it because he's a pathetic character now. But Kane back in the day would come out, he'd no-sell a few punches and just destroy the competition. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what Lesnar needs to be. That guy,
do a couple like they used to do in ECW with Taz. Taz would come out, the guys would get out of the ring themselves. They'd clear it. They're like, this guy must be bad. Nobody wants a piece of him.
Yep.
So I guess I'm thinking if it was me booking and you got Lesnar for another 3 years, have Lesnar win. And then if you want to push Reigns, see how he does the rest of the year, and then do a rematch next year.
True.
Give him that title. And
or at this pace, it could be freaking next month's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I mean, they're,
Or SummerSlam.
Or SummerSlam. I mean, there you go. And it could be something like that, have Reigns get beat down. Oh, you got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
You still have a lot to learn in this business. And then, see what happens. But I don't know, 50-50. Either way, fans, I mean, for those listening to this podcast and everybody else out there, like, I think I'm at like 99.8% on yet to find a supporter of Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Like, which is crazy because they say like at house shows he does really well.
Yeah.
And like people who go to house shows vouch for that. It's not just WWE. Well, it is great at house shows. Like people will say, like it's crazy. It's they go somewhere that's not a major wrestling city and they love him, which I think is kind of. I think that's kind of the Cena thing too.
Yeah.
Which I mean, if
on TV,
John Cena shows up in Bismarck, North Dakota, ain't nobody booing him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
is John Cena?
Well, Eric Meyer, but outside Eric Meyer, outside Eric Meyer, he's dropping panties.
Yeah.
Next match. Oh, here we go, boys. Sting Triple H.
Yeah, and this is going to be the saddest grandpa match.
You shut your mouth now.
Once again, just another pointless match. Who does it benefit?
The world.
I mean, it benefits the fans, sure, but like what? Like, Sting is an opportunity to get somebody over.
Yeah.
And
Triple H.
Triple H, you know,
Well,
and Triple H doesn't need to be over. He's done.
The owner. He's done wrestling.
He's finished.
This will more than likely be Sting's only in-ring appearance.
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, if you're going to do that, then, you know, label it as your Legends match. Or here's a prime opportunity. You create, like, a Legends belt or something new. Like, you know, and then you could incorporate that into WrestleMania in the future. Like, here, we're going to have, you know, the Hall of Fame guys or whoever, you know, the older guys. Where it's like, you know, just like Turner said, this doesn't serve anybody. And even as a fan, I'm like, this is a match that nobody's ever demanded. Like, you know, back in the WCW days, Triple H had nothing to do with any of that.
Yep.
They've never had any type of rivalry. They've never...
Because who would you want to see? You'd want to see Sting and Undertaker, obviously. That'd be a match you'd want to see. Sting, Austin.
Yeah.
Sting, HBK.
Yeah.
You know,
that I think. Well, yeah. Even HBK would be a prime. You know,
even
prime crossover.
Shit,
event.
if you wanna drag Ric Flair's old ass out there,
Hell no.
I'll watch. Hell no.
I'd watch.
I'll watch those two go at it again.
Battle of the Woos.
Battle of the Woos.
I'm just saying stuff with Woo in it now. It's okay.
Wootini. Yeah.
Wootini.
Big old Jawa.
Yes.
Jawa and Sting face. Yeah, man. I'll end up watching this one. I'm sure I'll end up watching it Sunday night. You know, as I will be one of those watching Walking Dead instead of WrestleMania. But I'll be viewing WrestleMania shortly thereafter, after the missus goes to bed. Because I'm sure it'll get repeated all night long.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, I mean, like,
video on demand.
Yeah.
So.
For that match, I mean, I gotta give it to Sting just because I think they kind of have to at this point.
Yeah, Triple H has been losing all of his in-ring stuff.
If you gave Triple H, the fans would be so upset.
Well, and here's the thing too, is that so Triple H, the kind of on Raw, as you saw, finally Sting came out and spoke, which I think he's kind of at the top of his game as far as promos go, because he can cut a really good promo now. Because, well, he had to. He was in TNA. That's all he had. It's like, can I have a light show? No.
Yeah.
Can I have a good match? No. Can I cut a really good promo?
Yeah.
Yes, that's in the budget.
We actually have some interns for that.
Yeah. So he comes out and he says, you know, I'm not here for WCW because that would be stupid. You know, it's like, okay, finally, you know, somebody came out and was like, that idea is stupid.
Yeah. I've been waiting 15 years for this.
Right, and then he's just like, he brings it that he's tired of watching Triple H, you know, run amok and do whatever he wants, and it's time to shut him down. Yeah. Which, you know, it's whatever. And then the best part was, so Stephanie comes out and starts, you know, trying to get the best of him. But, I mean, you could just tell he just got over on her, and she just can't even hold a candle to him. But anyways, winner, it's got to be, like you said,
Sting.
Why would you bring him back to lose?
Unless this really is the beginning of the downfall. You know, and that's been a huge prediction for this year. That there's been those rumors that freaking, you know, WWE as a whole could easily go away. Yeah. We are and you have to look at it this way. As popular as they are, I mean, they sell tickets. They're making their money. Mm-hmm. But outside of their house shows, I mean, it's become really apparent that just fans in general, just they don't care about the show anymore. Mm-hmm. There's no, you know, with you know, guys like us that have been into it, you know, 25, 30 years. You know, we are at that point where it's like we want new, we want fresh, we want creative. Mm-hmm. We want, you know, and it applies just like in our comic conversations, where here's the same thing. These characters are getting old. You know, you need something new. You need a reason for an 8-year-old kid to believe that frickin' Hulk Hogan, you know, or to believe that frickin' Daniel Bryan, whoever, you know, is frickin' immortal. And, you know, are there? I mean, I know those fans are out there, but as a whole, they just keep pissing everybody off. Like this last year, like. Or even just a couple months ago with Bryant and the Royal Rumble, things like that, where anybody listening to their fans and their audience, I'm not saying, you have to give him the wins all the time, but like that was a prime opportunity. The dude had been gone for a while, bring him back, let him be in the Final Four at least, and then he can go out. But otherwise, here you're stuck with this, where you're stuck with, here's a match, Sting and Triple H that nobody ever asked for. Nobody, it's not like fans have ever demanded this.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's been zero interaction between those two guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's no heat. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing between them to go like, oh man, I hope Stinger gets, gets a whooping or whatever, But yeah, I would assume give the win to Sting, let the fans know you are listening, because otherwise what? Yeah, Triple H wins, and what's he going to say? This is my house.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. He said it'll take 20 minutes to say it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that one. Next one we
Next
got
list.
is the 7-man Intercontinental Championship, which outside, like, it seems like that's the only match anybody is excited for.
Yeah.
So we got Bad News Barrett versus R-Truth. Come on, R-Truth. Versus Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper versus Dolph Ziggler versus Stardust versus Daniel Bryan.
Once again, why do we have so many people in this match?
For the Intercontinental, yeah.
Essentially, this is a Money in the Bank match.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I think they really messed up when they made that its own pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just diluted it, and it really felt like they took something away from WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they made it its own, because that was always the coolest thing. That was your mid-card match. That was, some of your older guys who you couldn't fit into the main event, but we could throw them on that show, and your guys looking to prove something. It was a very cool dynamic.
Yeah.
And now it's, and then they threw it away. And now we've got this ladder match, which is our mid-card guys and our two stars who we don't care about.
Yeah.
That being Ziggler and Bryan.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah. And I think, yeah, I mean, either one of those, I think, should take the win. Bryant for sure, just to keep his momentum going. But again, I mean, Ziggler's been, he's been due for a push for 3 years,
and
4 years.
He's been hot for 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's been over for 3 years, and they just refuse to push him.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, for all there could be some backstage dynamics. Obviously, we're not involved, but there's got to be some reason. There's got to be some, because even like I've never been a fan. I guess, just a fan of how they've handled him. But he has been one of the few guys that they have not given any type of gimmick to, have they?
No.
He's always been Dolph Ziggler, as far as I know.
His original gimmick was, "Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler,"
Yeah,
and he shook your hand, and that was his thing.
yeah, and pretty much still is. Like,
And now, he kind of came up with his own gimmick, I think, was that whole kind of, does kind of a little bit of a retro, and he's arrogant, and he's actually a character. It's not a gimmick, he's a character. So, but yeah, they've never really given him anything outside of the name Dolph Ziggler.
yeah, which
and he was, for a long time, he was badass Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
2.0, but he's even moved past that now, which is awesome because he deserves to have his own thing. But yeah, I'd say for that match, that's got to go to Bryan or Ziggler. I mean, if Barrett takes it, fine, but if anybody else takes it, I mean,
Another guy, Barrett, that was pretty hot that they just kind of let go away.
yeah,
and there's a prime example. Take those two, then send them to NXT. They can be the big tag team, the veteran badass tag team on NXT, and or you're gonna lose them. You'll lose them to Lucha.
Lose them to Lucha.
That's
New hashtag, everybody.
Yeah.
Lose them to Lucha.
that's
And then our next match, we got Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, which we've kind of discussed a little bit.
yeah.
Once again, I'm just going to say it out there, put it out there one more time. Why? What's the point?
Yeah.
Who does that benefit?
Yeah.
Because they're both from the dark side, I guess.
So,
Great.
just like with Kane. Yeah.
Great, yeah. How...
Which I guess
what do you even do? I mean, you'd like to redeem Taker, but at the same time,
22-1, and then
it
he
does
can retire in peace.
Yep.
retire. in peace.
Yes.
But what is it? But they also kind of WWE has this theory that just working with somebody does something for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I didn't beat him, but I was in a match with Triple H, so that put me over. I was in a match with Shawn Michaels. Like,
great.
No, it's all in how you book it. Like,
in a high school gym in 1983.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Well, if Taker wins, he buries Wyatt,
Yeah.
And if Wyatt wins, he buries a freaking legend, which, in a sense, is kind of awesome, but it's Taker. Like, you can't...
But to have Taker lose to...
You can't do that to the Phenom,
Yeah, well, it's who's the second man on the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who's the second guy to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. Bad booking.
Yeah.
And, we'll leave it at that. I mean, even...
Winner, bad booking.
Leave it at that. I don't see anything other than to let Taker wave to the fans. But Jesus Christ, look at last year. After he lost, that was like I was just watching it the other night, and it's like a 15-minute exit from the ring.
Yep.
It's like you would have swore that it was
that's the end. Yeah.
That would have been his retirement, like and it was just him all googly eyed and falling over, and the fans, and the reactions were perfect, but just all them drop jaws, and nobody even started clapping for about 10 minutes. But it was just him, like, and it was funny because I don't know, I'd like to see some story on that. I wonder, like, talking about how it's like he was seeing some birdies, and it's like, really, they're going to give him freaking 12 minutes, 13 minutes, whatever it was, to get up and out of the ring. It's like, at that point, like, do you really think they slated that? Or do you think it was like medics in the back, like, any minute, like, okay, hold on, he's trying to get, somebody had to be ringside, like, okay, this guy's obviously, because you can tell, I mean, he's exhausted, whatever, but to take 10 minutes, whatever, 10 plus minutes to celebrate him losing.
Yeah.
And then it was like, people, it's like, oh, it's okay, Undertaker. And he doesn't even do anything. He's just like, you see him just freaking slogging back up. Yeah.
And at the same time, thinking about it now, there would have been a great moment to make Brock your beast. Like, have him stay in the ring. Have him be in the ring the whole time, just like,
barking at
push
him.
Taker out and just revel in people's hatred for him,
Yeah. This is
make him the ultimate heel. That'd be awesome.
But who knows? Hey, you know what? There we go. This one doesn't get an ending. Lesnar interferes.
Oh, that would be amazing. Lesnar pops in, I'm not done yet, and then like destroys everybody.
18 German suplexes.
Yeah.
19.
19? My bad.
Or let's go 31 for every year.
There you go.
So, here I foresee. So, this match, I mean, depending on the booking, on where they fall, I mean, why not? If this is like closer to the... Do you think they'll do the Undertaker as the closing match, or do you think they'll do the...
No.
They have to do the Lesnar match. It's got to be the title
match.
match.
What if Kane comes out and saves his brother?
Hey, why not?
Is it Kane or corporate Kane?
Oh, that's a tricky question.
Burnt Kane or Asylum Kane?
One of those. Well, I don't know. What
Let's do halvesies. Half of him is right. He's got the Kane attire, but he's also got the slacks on.
Yeah. I go for that.
Corporate casual Kane.
Oh, the best.
Good stuff.
So these go. Our next, our overhead folks are P break, which is AJ Lee and Paige versus the Bella Twins.
Yeah, which
hey,
Paige,
thank God it's on the card.
Yeah, well, Paige is looking good. Bella's I think they'll be done here soon.
Yeah.
No word yet if they sign their extension. To my knowledge, anyways.
Tune into Total Divas next season to find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like this is a missed
We're done with
opportunity
WWE, but we're staying with the show for 2 more years.
I mean, this is a good chance to put Paige and AJ Lee up against some people that can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a missed opportunity, I think.
Yeah.
The Bellas, they're nice, but they they just can't do it.
Yeah.
Why can't they do what they're best at? Escorting Snoop Dogg to the ring.
Or
There you go. For his match with Curtis Axel.
no. I mean, this would be a great time too to just have just a Paige versus AJ Lee match, you know?
Yeah.
Because those two can go at it. They can wrestle.
And that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Well, this could easily be that. This could be that setup. They lose to the Bellas and then have their in-ring fallout.
Why couldn't we do that at a pay-per-view nobody cares about?
Right.
Like the other ones.
Yeah.
Well, they started.
That would've
They
been
started
fast
on
on
Raw, you know,
Yeah.
last week. You know, when AJ hit Paige in the face by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always I love how tag team splits are always with the accidental.
Oops.
That's been happening since 1960.
No, with the Rockers.
I don't know. There might have been a muscle
Which-
spasm. You know,
Which, I'm going to tell you both right now, if I decide to end our friendship,
that's how you're doing it.
you're going to see the set of the barbershop. So that'll be your cue.
Duly noted. If I ever see a barbershop set around you, I'm just going to avoid you.
Yeah.
That way friendship can end. Only, I'll let you do it on the one condition that I also get to come back as fake Undertaker.
Okay.
Just like Marty Jannetty.
Yeah.
Excellent. Just good ideas all around.
Yes.
So, winner, I think it's going to be the Bellas. Because
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah. Set up the feud.
They're going to split up.
You
And
know.
it's going to be
Match
Divas as a
serves no
whole.
one.
I mean, that's a different show. That's a whole different YouTube channel.
they're so pro women and stuff, but yet they won't give them ample time. They won't push the vision right, whatever.
You know, the women's championship, and this goes back. We were talking about that. You know, I think a couple nights ago about how, you know, when Trish Stratus and you had your Litas and your,
Yeah.
you know, when you again, you know,
Girls who could work.
Yeah, and like back when Beth Phoenix and man, there were some great ladies, and then now it's just like, oh, it's been these four pretty much, because like Mickie James is gone, right, and then
Yeah.
like half the women are gone, so there's no.
Yeah. And nobody that's been ready, because they won't even push anybody.
Is what this kind of reminds me of actually is like doing universe mode on like WWE 12 or maybe 13, where your roster, like you can't advance your universe because it's like it's the same four women every week, and then you know you can never get one to have a 4-star match because it's the same 4 matches. You know, they say the same bill every week. But anyways, I think Bellas will take that. What else we got here?
Oh, we got 2 more. And gentlemen, get your exciting sticks or whatever you got out.
I got it ready.
Rusev versus Cena for the United States Championship match.
Cena's going to take it. Obviously.
He's got to go his redemption from last year.
Yeah.
You know,
From Fastlane.
or Fastlane. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you not give it to him? I mean, it'd be stupid not to have him win. Because you know, the first thing when I saw Rusev, I was like, oh, okay, John Cena bait. You know, feed me more jobbers.
Yeah. And I'm assuming, or again, in the way of current WWE, Cena loses again. People still, you know, just boo and hate the company for the sake of pushing Rusev
Cena
against
stands
maybe.
up and goes, but really, guys, I never, ever, ever give up. So I'm still having this feud. I don't care if you like it or not.
Yeah.
This feud is happening.
Would they just do something interesting with him?
Yeah.
He
Why
loses.
why can't Cena and freaking Reigns be you know, why isn't it Cena versus Lesnar? Do they have like some?
Well, they already had that, and they kind of just wrote it off as John Cena couldn't beat him, so he kind of moved on with his life, I guess.
Whoops.
I mean, like when you have a hero that's unbreakable, you know what the most interesting thing to do with him is?
Break it.
Exactly. Do that.
Well, here's what we do. So, Rusev beats him, and we learn that it's all because he's having trouble performing in the bedroom for Nikki.
Okay.
And then, like, every time, you know, it's this whole confidence thing. And we find out, like, pills and stuff don't work, so he needs to find his confidence back.
Yeah.
And then we have Danny DeVito
Showing up ringside.
showing up, and he has to help him get his confidence back, a la Hercules from the Disney movie. And he can wear horns, too, just because.
I would take it if Danny DeVito gets to be
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's always
Frank.
Sunny character.
Right.
Well,
Sure, why not?
He's got a wrestling character.
Frank
the Garbage
Mac.
Man. It was
The Garbage Man.
Garbage
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
He eats trash.
Yeah.
And he throws trash cans at people. I would take that, 'cause that'd be awesome.
He gets his groove back from the Garbage Man and the Green Bastard.
Yes.
Yes. Parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
Oh, so good. So good. Yeah, at this point, I'm 50-50 on this one, because Rusev wins. Who's his competitor? Lesnar or Reigns? Rollins, maybe?
I don't even know.
Mark Henry? Do you have
a competent lawyer?
Yeah.
The Raw segment they had, which was terrible. And the best part was so the actor they got to play his lawyer started slipping out of a Russian accent and going into a Southern one. Like, you could tell, like, just the way he was pronouncing some words, they kind of slipped. And then so JBL hops on him and starts saying, "This guy was parking cars later. Where'd they find this guy? He's a fake, obviously." Like, you're killing the bit, dude. Like,
whatever.
But anyways, yeah, so I'm going Cena.
Same.
Yeah. I don't know, I'll say Rusev just because more Lana on air.
I'm all for that.
And it was funny, I made a post the other night, I was like, it's like, how hard is it, for these guys to throw on some Rosetta Stone and, freaking learn some actual Russian.
Yeah.
And then it's funny, because he's Bulgarian, right? And then the Lana girl, and it's like, why does it seem like they don't know how to talk to each other? Because you always just hear her screaming, and then, like, she always just kind of talks gibberish. And it's like, well, come on, just, can you at least teach him or can he teach her? Like,
apparently she knows Russian though. Like,
it doesn't sound like it on TV.
I
know she's apparently
grew up there or something,
Yeah,
something along those lines.
Yeah.
She spent time there.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the worst part is that fact that she hasn't been with him for like the last 2 weeks. I don't know why. They didn't say. I haven't cared enough to look it up, but. People have been chanting, "We want Lana" whenever Rusev shows up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Once again.
And maybe, is she going to be, I wonder if she's strictly going to be arm bait, or do you think they're going to try to, I don't know anything about the character with her, but how does it, is she a potential wrestler
I've never seen anything of her.
Another Stacy Keibler situation?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
She's a manager, strictly.
Well.
Which is weird, because she's more over than Rusev.
Yeah.
So, but that'd be great. I mean, she could go on to other people, and she should manage Cena. That'd be interesting.
That would be
There we go.
She's a defector, and
There's a
I
great
love
angle.
USA.
There you go.
That'd be awesome.
That would be.
Yeah, why not?
And then she'd really get, people would start cheering them then. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to boo the hot chick in this super tight...
But then that ruins Divas stuff, because isn't that why people watch that show? Because of which Bella is he with?
Well, she can manage him. I'm not saying she has to be with him.
Well, right, but it's, you gotta have that push, because it's like,
illusions, Michael.
Where'd the lighter fluid come from?
Come on, this stuff's expensive.
But yeah, and then wrapping it up here. What's our final?
Our final match is Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. Which, all said and done, no.
Exactly.
That wasn't even planned, but yeah, exactly.
Well, that's another one where I felt like they kind of messed up the hype on it.
Yeah, Orton's doing his thing. He's still Randy Orton.
Well, it was great because they had a thing where Rollins put his head through some concrete so he could go shoot a movie. And then he came back, and when he first came back, he played the angle of, I'm going to get close to everybody, and then I'm going to strike. So there was like 2 or 3 weeks where he was like, Seth Rollins, we're buddies, we're friends. And then these last 2 weeks, he turned on him, and now he is whatever, which he should have come back and just beat the hell out of him. But as far as in-ring ability, I think those guys could put on a good show.
Yeah,
so I actually am looking forward to that match.
And who knows?